Hey everybody! So today's video with the OC information consists of the more fandom-based OCs. These are the characters that were more specifically made for this part of the story. So there's Afire and Henry Stickmin OCs in this one. There's a couple in here that are kind of neutral as well that I probably could have put in the other video, but the other video was nearly 11 minutes long, so... Now, these aren't all of them. These are just the more prevalent ones that were more important to the plot and are going to be more important in the plot. These are also the ones that were canonically alive during the events of the stories they were written in. Tomorrow, I'm going to get more into the ones that were more implemented into the backstories or are probably deceased during the storyline. And I'll be getting more into those due to an arc that I've been writing. I might get more into that in the future as well. But, point aside, the last two things I kind of want to say before I go on with the darn video is... I'm probably going to put these OC descriptions on my community page so you guys have another source of knowing these things without me rambling about them directly. And some of these are just my own personal opinion and headcanons that I sometimes say in these. And I hope you enjoy them. This character is probably the only Afire OC I have on this list. This is Rolf's wife, Rachel. She is this kind of timid, shy, but very sweet character. She's very loyal to Rolf and his band, and is best friends with Mitzi and Duke. She is a talented songwriter and is aspiring to maybe be able to write songs for musicals and stuff like that. She doesn't use her powers very much in contrast to characters like Stephanie and all those guys, but she gets along with Stephanie and Lucy and all the others as well, despite the fact she doesn't really fight very often. That's just a little bit about Rachel. If you guys want more, I can get more into her, too. This character is the first Henry Stickmin OC I really came up with. This is Alicia. She is Ellie Rose's older sister, and basically, she's Reginald's wife as well. Okay, don't judge me. I can't Reginald with a wife. Don't judge me. But Alicia is kind of this feisty, flirty, and more mature lady. She's a lot more mature than Ellie can be sometimes, but she and Ellie have this familial feistiness to them. She loves Henry, Ellie, and Reginald with everything she has, and would literally do anything for them, even if it means getting into scrapes she doesn't intend to get into in the beginning. These two are right-hand man's kids, Marion and Hunter. While they might appear to be quite similar at first glance, they're actually polar opposites. Hunter is a bit more sarcastic in a way. He's more like his mother. He doesn't like getting into fights very often and prefers to be more artistic. While Marion is basically her dad all over again. She can and will beat someone up if you piss her off. You just don't want to mess with Marion. The two are very close, which is kind of why I drew them together rather than apart. But the two have kind of these conflicting thoughts on their father. Marion's kind of a daddy's girl, while Hunter has some issues with him at times. So that's a little bit about Marion and Hunter for you. This lady is their aunt, and Wright's younger sister. Sonia is a little bit like Rachel in the aspect that she is very timid, but she can also be kind of edgy at times, kind of paranoid, mostly due to her and Wright's tragic past. She has a hard time trusting anyone that isn't her family, and when she does, she gets very attached to him very quickly, so she could be kind of conflicting at times. Despite this, though, she's like Wright, she can and will beat someone up if you anger her. But she's very sweet and very easy to get along with for the most part. She's also a good storyteller, and she can whip up something and just, when it comes to clothing, very quickly. So, there's Sonia. This character is one of the first villains that ever got publicly put on the series. He is Lucy's elder brother, which I mentioned in the other video. He's technically kind of a Henry Stickmin OC because he's involved with Reginald's tragic past and Wright's at the same time. He is technically a serial killer and an arsonist and many, many other things. He was driven crazy by his own personal issues, but he still loves his sister and is very, very willing to try and get her on his side, even though he knows she probably hates him for what he did. He could be kind of a maniac, a psychopath, but he still loves his sister and wants her back. That's something he doesn't really say very often, but yeah. This is one of me and Zinta's more recent original characters. She is, we've been calling her the puppeteer. And she's quite literally the embodiment of trauma, fear, and anxiety. She's talented at making puppets based off of the things that people miss or are scared of. She likes to taunt people, and there's a video on here where she actually taunts Dimitri with his daddy issues, so yeah. She's very twisted, and like Andre, she could keep a deranged smile on her face. And she will probably be in one of the next arcs that I've been working on too, so you might be seeing a little bit more of her as well. So there's her. The last character I have here is kind of a tidbit of Dimitri's backstory and thought to be villain in one of the last arcs. Her name is Milana Ivanov. She was the current leader of the Topak clan for a short amount of time since she broke from the wall. And at first, they thought she was up to no good, but she turned out to know a little something about the puppeteer upon witnessing someone getting hurt from it. In her younger years, she was much more psychotic, and is actually responsible for the death of Dimitri's father, as well as almost killing Dimitri. Let's just say she killed a lot of people, because, she was a top-hat in her younger days, behind Dimitri's back. This is one of the reasons Dimitri has trust issues. But there's Milana.